team seemed to take much more control of the game in the second half. Was there a tactical adjustment? Was there just a change in mentality? What happened that allowed y'all to seize control?
I think we were a little bit much secure with our passing, but also the opponent gets more tired and they have to run more behind the ball. So I think that was the only thing I said at halftime. Defensively we do a great job, very disciplined. With Pity and Barco, especially for them, it's a different thing that they normally used to, and I think they did really well. With Pity on Mediano, didn't get in his rhythm. But the first half, I think we were sometimes a little bit sloppy in the passing from behind, and they also pressed us a little bit more. But normally after 60 minutes, you kind of feel that, and then we had our patience, and we pushed them up, and when you then lose the ball, you have like 6, 7, or 8 guys behind the ball, and every time we get the ball back, and we could start an attack again. So that was especially the second half. So I'm really pleased with the performance, especially defensively, how we managed to do that for 93 minutes, and I think it was a deserved win for us.
Yep.
About 6 months ago, we were sitting in this room after a poor result against the same team. What is different about this team now, 6 months later?
No, of course, everybody knows their role, what we expect from each other. Both sides, the players from each other, the coaches towards the players, vice versa. So I think we made big steps. We are much mature, recognize moments when you don't can press it, you come together, and also what we show now today, we're playing 4 in the back, that we can adapt very quickly to another system, and that's difficult for an opponent to always have to consider, okay, what they're gonna play with 4-3-3 or with 3 in the back. So I think it was a very mature game today from us.
Okay.
Frank, what went into your decision to start Pity tonight, and then what were your instructions for him specifically?
Well, he had to play really between the lines and not to go too high, to go to the center back. But especially, when we had the ball, try to play in between lines and receive the ball, and especially when he can turns. And Mediano is a fantastic player, but he's not the best defender. So if we can search for Barco and Pity, then they come in their strength, and then we have to have the runners and with Josef and Jules, and the first goal was a little bit like that, and so that's why I chose for Pity and Barco. It was a difficult decision because for me, Emerson did great, but also the way they played, I think it was more suitable that we're going to play with 4 in the back, and so if you have 4 in the back, you have a little bit more security, with Mikey and Ambrose behind Barco. So that's why I chose to play for Barco, because I think Barco, and he is good right now at this moment. He is the start normally always. So for me, it was not a difficult decision, but as on personal level, it's always difficult also for Justin. Played a lot of time, but for me, it was the right moment to play this system with these players. And I always say, also to you already, but also to my players, I choose the players who has the most chance to win this game. And it doesn't mean that it always is with the best players, but it's more the best team. And now it was, this, in my point of view, was the best team to win against the.
You obviously weren't here last year, but Franco had his best performances in the playoffs last season. It seems like it's happening again this year. What do you think it is about Escobar's makeup that pushes him, I guess, to play his best soccer when the stakes are the highest?
I think he can motivate him even more, when the stake is that high, and he's really concentrated, and I think think also with Leo and but especially with Franco right now, you know, when the tension is at the top and you're really concentrated, then normally good players will perform at the best. And I think he's doing that right now. He's really concentrated. He's already, you know, he's not starting to think of the game when the referee started to blow his whistle. No, he's already a few days before. He's already ready for this game. And I think that he's showing, you know, unbelievable what kind of lungs he had, you know. Also with this system, with 4, you know, you see that he's coming more toward his strength also, you know. Sometimes we think, okay, with 3, with his speed, you know, you saw also when he's tracking back, you know, with his speed is very helpful for the back line. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with his performance these 2 games in the playoffs.
Mikey Ambrose hadn't started since July, I think. Pogba has not been starting live. Did you have any reservations at all to go to a new system from the outset, considering those are 2 pretty big changes at that?
Yeah, I knew, but you know, if I wanted to play with Barco and Pity, what I said, you know, and especially in this system, I need a defender, and I cannot put Justin then as then it's almost suicide. So because we don't have defenders left, so Mikey was the only option. And he did well in the USL, and that's good that he played the games in the USL, so that we gave him his minutes, and that's why I had no doubt, you know, because the training he always gave 100%, and you know that's always the message that I give to our players, you know. When your time can suddenly come, and if you show me in training that you give your best and also in the quality, then for me it's a possibility that I can put you in. And he gave me that opportunity, and that's why I said, okay, I could also put Pogba, of course, as a fullback, but then Jeff had to drop back. But for me, you know, Jeff is crucial right now in the midfield. He's winning those duels for us, and that gives you so much more release for the defense, you know. So that's why I had no doubts. Directly I had in my mind I'm going to play with Mikey, and because already I saw at the training, he was really doing well, you know, when he played as a fullback. So for me it was after like 5 minutes I already knew, okay, Philadelphia play like this, okay, Mikey's going to start.
Eric, Felipe.
You got Julian Gressel playing really well. You got Frank de Boer playing well. Barco seemingly playing well. Is this the best you've seen? All right, this is Atlanta United playing at their best right now.
I think, you know, we are looking much more comfortable on the ball, but also what I said, you know, in the discipline. And when we don't have the ball, you know, everybody recognizes those moments when you have to press or have to drop a little bit deeper and wait, you know, to be compact again. And yeah, I think we are, you know, growing in our strength, and hopefully, yeah, we can. I think still we can do better, and you know, like 19 minutes, you know, total domination, but still, I'm very happy, you know, with the progress that I saw during the whole season.
Felipe, go.
So yeah, the back 4, you have Mikey coming in after not starting for a very long time. Pogba playing left center back, which he hasn't played in a long time. You move LGP to centrally. They did the job, but like you said, Philadelphia did press high, and they did trouble the back 4, like playing out of that. What needs to improve between now and Wednesday?
No, we said at halftime. I think, you know, when we build up, we were standing too wide, you know. So especially Leo was a little bit, when he received the ball, he was like 1 meter from the sideline, and then it's difficult. Then you can only give a ball straight to or Jules or to Frank Escobar. And I said, okay, just, you know, you have football. It's almost every time if you pass, it's almost triangle, or you play a straight ball, and somebody can drop it to a third man. And I think we did that much better in the second half. You can always, you know, give diagonal balls, and yeah, I think the second half that's helped us, you know, to come under the pressure of Philadelphia, and so I think that we can improve, but still, they pressed a little bit more, but they get tired also. And we have to recognize, okay, I have to make a difficult, easy pass, or just give it, to long, like on the chest to Josef, and maybe win second balls, And again, the second half we did it much better.
Doug and Jared.
Did you watch the Toronto game last night, and what do they do well, seeing as they're your next opponent in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Well, the first half, they did really well, and I think afterwards, I think they have the experience, to also play the playoffs that you saw. I think you could see that New York, the players didn't have that experience, and if you see also the second foul, the penalty, the goal, that's it has to be like that. Also, first goal, suddenly you had it, in the sky, and you don't know where it ends, and that looks a little bit nervous at that moment. And we used it also towards this game to our team, so they don't have the experience. You already have the experience of the playoffs, so use that experience. But Toronto, they have very quality players. They can play different systems. They also did it at their stadium against us, playing also with Pozzuelo as a false striker. And we have to do better, of course, there. But at the end, of course, at the last second we had a penalty. Pity missed. If not, we had a draw. But still, they controlled, especially the first half. By far, we could have been easily like 2, 3, 4 goals down at that moment. But they have, of course, with midfielder, father of MLS. He is very experienced, of course. He's a little bit like Harris Mediano, You don't want him, to build up from behind and dictate the rhythm of the game. And that's very important. But I think at our home stadium, our home advantage, we showed it already here against Toronto. We dominated, I think, in 90 minutes long. And so we'll have to do it again.
Jared and John.
Looking at what Jeff did in the middle of the field, we talked for most of the year about winning duels. How big has he been in the playoffs after spending time in and out of the lineup this year, just winning duels in these 2 games, aerial duels and on the ground, just to keep things under control?
It's crucial, I always say it's a difference between attacking or defending, and if you win like 80% of your battles, then 8 times you are attacking instead of 8 times you are defending, and that gives you. It's for the opponent. It's mentally is that and psychologically is that so important to have that feeling, not just you dropping back because you're losing every duel, and not only Jeff but also especially Darlington is also a very big part of it. But Jeff is one of, especially last against New England, they had like 7 or 8 interceptions. Today he had also fantastic recoveries, and so he's crucial for us at that moment. That's why I put him there, and that's why I didn't want to put him back in the back line, because in football normally you win your battles. If you win games, you normally win it in the midfield, and he's a key player in that.
Joe and Dave.
Jeff, Leandro, and Josef came into this game on yellow cards. Did you have a conversation with them because Leandro came in and was playing very physical right away?
I was a little bit afraid when Josef went to Montero, a little bit aggressive and head to head, and some referees they say, okay, I want to give a signal, okay, yellow, it can happen, and fortunately for us he didn't do it, and because then you're gonna miss the Eastern Conference final. So of course they knew that in the back of the head, but if you have to. At moments, you have to do something, especially for Leo, of course, and Jeff, then you have to do it, but of course they have the experience, to try to avoid it.
Last 2, Vic and Felipe.
Frank, with all the changes in the defense, how big of a confidence booster has it, not only for you, but for the team to not allow any single goals in the first 2 matches of the playoffs?
Yeah, that's very helpful, of course, for our back line and the goalkeeper, to have that confidence and that you in different formations you can achieve that. So for me, yeah, that's very important. I was self a defender, it gives you a boost for the next game, and yeah, it's certainly helpful.
When will you have an update on Parkhurst and Robinson?
Well, Robinson was on the back today, and so that was the first step, towards hopefully recovery. Still, we have to wait, how it goes. But yeah, I have now really a clear view what the time period will be, and also for Michael Parkhurst, he doesn't have to be operated, so that's important. So last time when he had this, after 6 days he could play again, but then it popped almost directly back in his shoulder, and now it wasn't. Of course, he had to go to the hospital or so. But so it's going to take probably more time, but yeah, hopefully one of those two can be available. That gives me more options.
Thanks. Ben, Eric, you want to start off?
Coach,